Alright, so let me get things fired up here, playing around on stuff, and just doing. doing. Okay, so anyway, going over here, looking at Maggot book. I got a button. I'll push the button, and actually let me do something first here. Alright, hopefully this is working. Alright, hopefully this is working, and I got things going on now, and I'm looking at stuff, and people coming in the room, good stuff like that there. So, hopefully, things are working. Alright, slide that thing on down. That's nice there. Okay, now that I'm figuring out the buttons for, like, stuff I should have probably have known for freaking ever. Oh, my stars and garters. I cannot begin to tell you just how much craziness is in the news that I'm just going, you know what? Nope. Click. Nice red light show. You know what, Abrams? I don't know why it is, but for some reason the camera just makes me red. And it's not like the room is red. I mean, it's actually like the room color of the walls is actually like a very light olive green. Of course, obviously a white ceiling. Nothing crazy there. I mean, I don't know why it does that. I mean, obviously, if I, like, put some light on the subject, you can see it is actually the color of which I said. It's basically like a light olive green. I don't know why it does that. That's just very strange. It's just maybe like some upload thing, or just some kind of just esoteric, tweaky kind of streaming bitrate. I don't know. It's got a red shift. Is it a good red shift? I don't know. I'm not going to shift it at red line to find out. All right, so messing around here with stuff with the camera side of things. Hang on a sec. Farting around with things. Things are in my way. Things I should have moved because my desk is, as usual, a mess. But that's just how it is. Yeah, appreciate you coming by, dude. Haven't seen you in forever. So good stuff like that there. Looking around and, obviously things in the ethers and craziness and stupidity, and I really don't want to begrudge everybody with the fact that, there is a lot of stupid people doing very, very stupid stuff at the moment because it's stupid. Okay, well, anyway, let me just scroll on through, and there has been meme comic gold, the likes of which I cannot even begin to tell you. That truthfully has just been like just phenomenal. I mean, the meme, I don't even know about the 4chan guys, but I'm just talking about like just the average Joe making memes. Holy crap. It has been like target rich environment, like unbelievably target rich environment. And truthfully, it has been a situation where I have seen nothing less than just world-class hoisting of petards, just proctological examinations on levels, depths, and breadths. I cannot even begin to just even begin to say how great it's been to watch. Truthfully, those guys on the other side of the aisle, and of which I really just, they're a known quantity. I mean, they pretty much get like all the major news networks. They have the Twitterverse. They have the cable guys all in their corner and whatnot. They have more than enough overcoverage to simply say that they are just saturating themselves. Now, the nice thing that I really truly have always noticed about the internet is there really is no way to tell who you're talking to. It doesn't matter what race they are. It doesn't matter what sex they are. It doesn't matter if they're tall, short, fat, skinny. I mean, a complete and total douchebag outside in the real world. Behind the keyboard, they might just be like some godlike being of like levels, that I've never seen and been achieved before. You know, the noobs are screaming in torment every time they jack with them. That's the thing that I really think is nice about the internet per se. You know, the vagaries there. It's the great equalizer. Truthfully, you have one voice, one way to represent yourself, and if that doesn't work, you go, hey, you know what? I'm now going to completely change my persona and tweak it in such a way that you're a completely different entity that somebody else has to go, well, who's this guy? We were just talking to this person, and they were a total douche nozzle, but this guy came in, he seems pretty kind of cool. And it could be the same exact person, tweaking, tuning, and adjusting just enough that they are literally an entirely new, quote-unquote, air quotes, entirely new, air quote, entirely new entity of which you're now dealing with. That said, truthfully, it is one of these things that either works in favor, or it is one of these things that just completely dominates the blogosphere, interwebs, to use, you know, the Mad Bad Voodoo line. It just dominates the interwebs and becomes an all-engrossing, ridiculous thing all in of itself. The thing about it is there are some people that get way so much attention that it's completely out of just reality speak. I mean, there's this little kid on YouTube that literally opens packages. That's his whole claim to fame. He opens packages. The kid is like the highest earner on YouTube. He makes an insane amount of money opening packages. I think it's like some Russian kid. He's like 8 years old or something, and he's opening packages, and that's his shtick. That's literally all he has really to show for his thing, is he basically opens packages. So, as an extent of just entertainment value, I can say generically, it's going to be pretty much non-offensive. It's something pretty much everybody else could watch, and they're going to go, oh, that's so cute. The kid's opening a package. Let's see what he got this week. Is it really going to be ridiculously entertaining? No, but it's basically a video pablum to feed those people with nothing in between their ears. There's, you know, numerous guys like on YouTube, like PewDiePie. I have no way in the world of resembling any form of interest for that man in any way, shape, and form. He's still one of the highest earners on YouTube. His video content flat out sucks. He's a moron. He puts out nothing I've seen, and it just kept me enthralled for more than about 5 seconds before I'm like, yeah, this blows. Click. But yet he gets an insane amount of views. Is it justified? Is it something that just makes it just on its face something that you're just going, yeah, man, I cannot keep away from this. This is just entertainment. This is just something I'm just engrossed with. I cannot walk away from this. This is just it just sucks me in every time I walk by the computer. I just have to go boop and see what dude has put out. Yeah. It really does nothing for me. I mean, you know, some of the stuff is actually kind of funny. Like, you know, like they'll take like some stereotypical view of things. Like, you know, the funniest one I've heard pretty much is just classically endearing to me. It's like, you know, of all people, nothing fancy. You know, that's like, yes, it's a good review. Only problem is it's 50 minutes too long. And he's even, you know, made a joke about it. He's like, yeah, you know, if you want to watch a really long video, watch my stuff. If you want to watch the, you know, the nuts and bolts short view, watch everybody else's crap. I got nothing really to say to you other than the fact that, you know, pretty much just this is what you get, okay? This is just my stuff. So anyway, way, shape, and form, now we're looking at just, you know, the entire real world kind of being just a little bit more nuts than it probably should be. That said, is it really going to change anything for these people to do the things in the way in which they're doing it? Probably not, because most of your average people are going to look at that and go, you know, as they're, you know, sitting at home sipping on their, you know, their coffee, or, you know, watching the morning news or the evening news or the whatever it is that they're watching, and they're seeing these people just completely wrecking the place, and they're going, I'm not into this. Click. Or they're so engrossed with it, it's just like, you know, those people who have to watch the dog running around in traffic until it gets splatted by a car. That's the kind of people that really, truly are not going to be those guys going out and going, yep, going to change the world because I've seen this stuff happening on the TV, happening on the internet, and of course these guys going completely bonkers. This has so got me motivated that now I want to change the world. not seeing that happening either. So anyway, let me go through my stack of stuff and do the Sean Connery stack of stuff. Do the Sean Connery loose denture stack of stuff. Let me see. Scrolly. This one had me in tears, and I had to try this to see if it would work. Facebook has these fundraiser things. They pop up like, if this little stupid thing that pops up on top of your feed, and it's this unavoidable little box. Hey, this information about COVID-19. Click on this, that, and the other thing. This, that, and the other thing, and blah, 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 blah. Click to CDC.com. Okay, you could have said go to the U.S. government CDC to get the information. I didn't need to have this little stupid ideogram and this little stupid, doctor on both ends of a stethoscope going, here's the information that we got absolutely no idea about except simply go talk to these other guys. That's always on there. It's annoying as all hell when Facebook does that kind of crap. Well, anyway, they tried to do this dumb fundraiser thing, and I was like, well, dude, I'm on this. So I clicked on it, and I did the whole thing, and it was like, help support dollars. Give me dollar bills so I may save a dollar. And it was like really just a send up for just, getting anybody to send you money for no good reason. And I clicked on it. And as soon as I clicked on it, and it said, could not be completed, you have had these things done to you because you've been a naughty boy on Facebook. And if nothing else, I had to screenshot it and I had to post it up on my timeline because if nothing else, Facebook doing stuff like that and continuing to quote unquote oppress me during times like this, I love good irony. And that in itself, in a nutshell, is perfectly expressing what Facebook's major problem is their Facebook. They have no clue when they do stupid stuff that really just makes people go, wow, man, that was really a Facebook event. They really have no flipping clue. On the science side of things, this one I had to post up. And I posted this one up on June 5, so 4 days ago. But I had to post this one up. And I've seen this video probably a few years ago. Just give me 1 second here. So literally I got the camera view of that one. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, I'm literally putting things in front of the phone that is recording this, so I'll be posting it up on YouTube. Anyway, so what the video is there is the world's largest vacuum chamber. And this thing is insanely huge. I mean, to put it in perspective, it's probably every bit of about 75 to 90 feet in diameter. So probably about 33 meters in diameter. I mean, it's just absolutely huge. It looks like it's about 50 to 70, maybe 80 feet tall. So, probably another, 30, 40 meters high, 25, 30 meters, whatever it is. Not great on the math on that one. But anyway, it's massive. And the thing contains an insanely huge amount of volume of air. Now, when they get done pulling this thing down, it takes 3 hours to suck down this massive vacuum pressure vessel with no air content in it. When they suck it down, there is only 2 grams, read like the weight of 2 pennies of air left in this thing. This thing was designed back in the good old days for nuke rocket testing, and it's aluminum, and it was intended to be shielded in such a way. It was massive, massive construction. It's like really thick piece of aluminum, just shrouded in these massive blocks of concrete and all this other stuff. It is absolutely massive construction. So anyway, the nuts and bolts I'm getting to is this. Is they pull down all the air in there. I mean, it's almost a perfect vacuum. Now, out in space, it's not a perfect vacuum because there's always rocks and stuff floating around, micrometeorites and, other crap, elemental, isotopes floating around. There's tons of stuff in space. It's not completely empty even as a vacuum. Trust me on that one. So anyway, this guy goes in the room, obviously before it's a vacuum, and they pull a clutch of eagle feathers and a bowling ball. And they're holding it with this device, and they drop it probably about, I'm going to say probably maybe about 30, 40 feet off the ground. So, probably about 10, 17 meters. It's a pretty good distance, maybe 50 feet. And you see them come down. Of course, the ball comes down, and it's just pow. They had this box set up with a bunch of concrete underneath it, but obviously the box is set up with a bunch of layers of, cardboard to catch the bowling ball. The feathers, of course, flutter down, no problem at all. And they're trying to prove out Galileo's statement of, I think it was Galileo, what are those guys? Maybe not Galileo, but anyway, what it is, talking about gravity, maybe Newton. Whatever. So they're trying to state the presence of gravity being a constant on every object without outside force interrupting upon it. It will continue to react with the speed of gravity pulling on it. 32 feet per second squared. So in other words, it's 32 feet. It's going to accelerate 32 feet. It's going to accelerate 32 feet until it finally reaches terminal velocity, or as fast as it is able to go under the pull of gravity, which is somewhere between 140 to 190 miles per hour, depending on what the shape of the object actually is, angle of attack, how fast you were going before you went into it, all the rest of these equation type stuffs. So anyway, what this guy did was they recreated that same experiment, and they pulled the room down in perfect vacuum. And literally they released a clutch of eagle feathers and a bowling ball, and both of them in vacuum hit the ground at exactly the same time. Now, the reason why I'm even making this point is because you have those conspiracy wonks going, oh, we never went to the moon. It was this fake thing. They did it in the same set that they used to make 2001, blah, blah, blah. We were never, ever on the moon. And the thing about it is there is only one way to duplicate that scene exactly. Is on the moon, is for dude to be on the moon. And literally what he did was he dropped an eagle feather and he dropped a hammer, and both of them flew from, basically his outstretched hands to the lunar surface and hit at exactly the same time. The only way you're going to do that is in a vacuum. And I can tell you for a fact, the way that area was looking, that, dude was doing the drop, did not look even remotely as that world's largest vacuum chamber, any way, shape, or form. And even then, if you think about the setup, dude would be in this vacuum chamber wearing a spacesuit. The other guy would be wearing a spacesuit. You'd have a fake lunar module laying there behind him. Of course, it has to be set up completely perfectly, that it's not like farting out gas and looking stupid and all the rest of that stuff, and the tons of things that you have to duplicate. The biggest problem is, that everybody seems to have a problem with, is that the fact that the cameras that they used on any of the moon landings sucked. That's the major problem. But that was duplicated perfectly on Earth in a vacuum chamber. Same results. Let me look at the room, see what people are saying here. It was Galileo. Okay, Galileo. I got one of those old guys right. That's the main thing that counts. So let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but this is kind of like these revisionist history wonks. Those guys who want to take down just statues because they find them offensive nowadays, or times have changed and you can't have these things done in a certain manner. All these things need to be performed in such a way that you truly cannot have situations as they were, because now it is offending the sensibilities of some people. Give me 1 second here. I gotta close my front door. 1 second. All right, so I'm back. Sorry about that. So anyway, it's now gotten to the point where they're recreating the Looney Tune, the classic Looney Tune cartoons. Bugs Bunny, duck season, rabbit season. Of course, Elmer Fudd's running around with the shotgun or the rifle or whatever, and somebody's gonna get blasted. Oh, you're gonna get blasted, you wabbit. All that fun stuff that we used to laugh our asses off at kids. Supposedly nowadays, it is too offensive for Warner Brothers to put out cartoons with cartoon characters running around with cartoon guns and shooting other cartoon characters, because guns are bad. So anyway, the Looney Tunes remake, this is coming from telegraph.co.uk. Looney Tunes remaking will not see Elmer Fudd will not see Elmer Fudd with a rifle, as the creators declare, we're not doing guns. I got bad news for you guys. It doesn't matter what you say in normal society, okay? People weren't watching the video games and going, yep, I'm going to go play Grand Theft Auto, and hey, I'm going to get in a car, I'm going to run over everybody exactly the way and try to get 4 stars in real life. Did not happen. People don't play video games and go, yep, that's exactly what I want to recreate in real life. Those M-Morg games where you're running around and just blasting each other in like combat scenes and whatnot. It's not combat training for you to run around with a joystick and then go, yep, this is exactly how you play stuff in real life. And if you do it, usually you don't succeed at it for very long, because usually what happens is you do it enough, the cops catch up with you, and they blow you away. And then you don't get the little, the wasted sound from GTA. You're a dead duck. Done. Don't do that type of stuff if you're going to be an idiot. If you do it, you're going to lose. Let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys caught this one or not, but this has been one of those news stories that truly, it cracks me up, okay? Grace Hightower is now supposedly soon to be the ex-wife of actor Robert De Niro. Now, here's the thing. De Niro's white, obviously. She's obviously a person of, African-American persuasion. Obviously, he made it work for a long time, but supposedly he was so henpecked, he is bailing out. No, I think you're just too much of a douche nozzle, and pretty much she just got sick of your crap, and she's bailing out, and she's basically taking your half of your $500 million fortune with her. She does, and he does, or they did, reside in New York City, where you're screwed when you get divorced, man. You're not just going to walk away on that one going, yep, we signed a prenup, here's your $50. No, I don't think that's going to happen, man. She's going to walk away with cake, and he's going to basically go, yeah, my old butt's now alone, but at least I'm not getting chewed out by her daily. Well, it has to be one of those, both sides of the equation, okay? Obviously, takes two to make an argument and all the rest of the good stuff like that there. But, man, I'll tell you what, as public as he is with his little little snarky crap, it was really funny to read the story like, he was getting his butt kicked by her, and she was the controller. I don't know what it is, man. That just, for some reason, that just cracked me up. He's like, I'm the tough guy in public, but at home is henpecked. That, for some reason, truly just made me laugh. And I don't know what else to say about it, other than I just found it epic, hilarious. Oh, man, what can you say? That just cracked me up. And she's going to be a very, very well-to-do lady, if not already. And he's probably going to be crying halfway to the poorhouse. He's worth $500 million. He can afford to kick her a couple $100 million, and she'll walk away going, done with you. Done. Over. Bye. See ya. Let's see. Scrolly. The only thing I'm really wanting to get into politically today is there's a person by the name of Marjorie Greene, and she's running for office in Northwest Georgia, and she put out a political video where she basically is standing there with a pistol set up, AR-15. So basically an AR-15 with a short barrel, and it's got the pistol brace, not a buttstock, but the pistol brace setup. So obviously you can have a short barrel like that completely legally. You don't have to register it as an SBR or a short barreled rifle. And she said to Antifa, stay the hell out of Northwest Georgia, and rack the action. So basically, Facebook blacklisted this ad. Now, me seeing it for what it is, I'm thinking Georgia could probably use somebody with a set of nuts or, brass ovaries like she's got. And pretty much I saw it as really just a good thing to just post that video up and let people take a look at it. And I got a couple shares on it, got some likes on it. And hopefully she does well, because we need somebody with a set of nuts or, female version therein to actually tell the Antifa guys, you're not wanted here, take your trouble elsewhere. If you do come here, we're going to hand you back your nuts, and you're not going to like the way that we took them off. That's it in a nutshell. Let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you read about this one or not, but there was a couple of attorneys, and I cannot begin to tell you, the pictures really, truly don't do these two justice. Just give me 1 second here. The pictures don't do these two justice. You have this one Indian Latino-looking girl, and she's wearing this, what should be a Che Guevara t-shirt, with, fist upraised and whatnot. And obviously, she looks like human caca. That's about the only way to say it. She pretty much looks like human caca. I mean, there's no other way to simply say it other than... she looks like human... Yeah, one of those kind of just dirty foot girls that just, even when they've just taken a major cleanup operation in the shower, they just still look like, well, Dirty Foot Girl, okay? Well, anyway, so she's standing there with this kind of, I'm going to be defiant kind of a facial expression. And right next to her is a dude who obviously is an African American. His t-shirt is really kind of askew. His clothing is really kind of askew. And he has a, oh crap, deer in the headlight almost like expression, but still trying to look tough. The thing is, they were throwing Molotov cocktails at the NYPD. Here's the rest of the story. They both are lawyers. Apparently, they didn't really realize that they were quote-unquote throwing Molotov cocktails and breaking the law. Yeah. Well, needless to say, these two deservedly got their bail revoked. They are stuck in the clink. They're not getting the $200 in passing go. They're done. So anyway, way, shape, and form, they are basically stuck in the clink. I gotta look this up to see what their bail was, man. It's gotta be something juicy. I mean, for these two to get stuck in the clink and the way in which they did it, let's see. Collingford Mattis, 32, and Arush Raman, well, obviously she's Indian, 31, reportedly hurled a Molotov cocktail at a police vehicle in the 88th precinct in Fort Greene Sunday as tensions escalated in the area. Mattis works in New York for the Pryor Cashman corporate law firm. Not anymore, he doesn't. And was suspended without pay after the news of arrest. He's already been furloughed since April due to the coronavirus pandemic. Raman is a human rights lawyer. Oh, jeez. They were released on $250,000 bond, but their bail was posted by fellow attorney Salman Rizvi, worked for President Barack Obama's administration and an intelligence official, providing information for Obama's daily briefing. Oh, man. Prosecutors in the Eastern District were dissatisfied with the suspect's release and filed an appeal. Translation, they got rebusted. But they were taken into federal custody by U.S. Marshals after the appeals court ruling. So pretty much they were like, yeah, we're free, man. We're going to go out and basically show the man who we really want to be the man. Wow. But supposedly she lobbed the beer bottle with the lit fuse into a damaged police car, setting the console alight, but nobody was injured. So basically she woofed the car that was already pretty messed up. Still not your place to do these things. $250K a pop. Revoked. I think that they're thinking their flight risks or something stupid, but man, oh man. Dumb people. What's going on, Logan? How you doing, dude? Let's see. Scrolly. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this one, this post of mine created a major amount of tummy trouble, shall we say. This is coming from HuffPost or Huffington Post, and it said that the police are targeting protest medics. Okay, now what I said essentially in that one was like, I got no problem with this. Don't riot. You won't need a, F-word medic to fix you with a, quote, rubber bullet bruise wound needing a tourniquet, end quote. Act like a punk, get punked. Okay, so what happened here is that there's these wannabe medic guys who are hanging out with the Antifa guys, and what they're doing is they're supposedly rendering aid, but one of the people that made a comment there said something that was absolutely on point. And he said it simply this. He said, you don't get your own medics. This is how to get bottles of gasoline and frozen projectiles into the area. Now, essentially, when you go, obviously, on a plane and you're going to do a flight, they want to see what you're carrying. You can't carry too much. Obviously, if you're a bad guy, 12 to 18, 20, 32 ounces, whatever it is going to be way more effective than an ounce and a half of whatever it is that you're carrying on board that you're now limited to. So, case in point, they're saying, look, if you're injured, go to the medic. We're not saying you bring your own medics because these guys potentially could be agent provocateurs. They could be bringing other stuff in there. They could be supplying the fight from behind or doing things that are pretty much just above board and so far in the mark that they're making more trouble than they ever truly were saying, quote unquote, we're fixing. Now, in the Hague Convention and of course in the all the other rules of war, you do not shoot at the medic. You know, the guy with the generic white box with the red cross in the middle. You don't shoot, even though it's a great place to shoot at, you don't shoot at that guy. He is off limits. Excuse me one second here. Just the same as you're not supposed to shoot at quote unquote unarmed military transportation for wounded personnel. Stuff with a white box and a red X, you don't shoot at. Now, here's the thing, is if these guys are supposedly wearing the white box with the red X and they're saying, no, I'm a medic, and then they come out and act like combatants, who's to say who's the good medic, the bad medic, and those guys who are creating trouble? That's the reason why they're saying, here you need a medic, there's a guy over there that's in the ambulance. You go see them. But yeah, that's part of the problem now is, they're saying the cops are targeting protest medics. They're not medics. They're not trained to be medics. They're not EMTs. They're not licensed and certified by the state like the EMT guys are. There's a reason why the cops are saying, get out of here. It's because they're not one. And that's it in a nutshell. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys saw this post or not. There's another Facebook post, but this so tickled me. Now, I have, if you're me and you're locked in them, logged into my account, you can see in the upper left column on my Facebook, there is this little box, and it's this little yellow box with the classic warning symbol, the triangle with the exclamation point, translation, your car's about to explode, blinking red light type of thing, but it's yellow and it says account warning, only you can see this. And the thing is, when you click on it, you see all the previous, within like a certain timeline. I think what Facebook said is it takes a year for you to do what you've done to get off our remembrance of coming back and holding it over your head later. And so what they're doing there is they're kind of waving their finger at me like hey, you better not do it again or we're going to wave our finger at you. Yeah, we really mean it this time. It's like, okay, and how many times do you have the situation where you have the President of the United States saying, knock it off? Maybe that's why they're doing this little little yellow box now to say, hey man, we're warning you, but we don't want to give you 30 days, but we're warning you. Yeah, like the last time they basically nailed me was for a picture of what's generically known on the internet as the gay Klingon. It is a guy laying on his bed, surrounded by a bunch of probably airsoft firearms and a bunch of guitars, and the guy pretty much looks like a gay Klingon. He has like a big bald patch, long hair, kind of has the facial expression, kind of has the body type, kind of really looks a lot like a Klingon. And so the guy is sitting there wearing a very brief, all the choice areas that they say don't show off if you're a guy, all those places are covered. There is no way in the world to look at that picture and go, yep, that guy's showing his twig and berries. He is not. Well, anyway, I posted that picture up and almost immediately it was like bing, where you that Facebook has either quote unquote logged you out or they put you in limbo to where they're getting ready to say, hey man, you just really effed up and we got you, man. We got you exactly where we want you. You are our B word. So anyway, it did that to me. And before they can really do the other classic thing that they do now is if you have a bunch of similar login attempts or similar login accounts or same IP accounts, they just lock them all. So I got a bunch. I got a bunch of Facebook accounts. One of them's been completely kablooed now, but I got a bunch of Facebook accounts. And the two accounts that I use, one is strictly for my work, working along bands and stuff and doing gig work. You know, I'm basically the engineer for like one of the bands, the tech slash engineer for a band, basically set up, take down, all the rest of that good stuff. And it is not political in the slightest. And I've made it a absolute do not even think about being political in any way, shape, and form on that profile. So it is not political in any way, shape, and form. The other one is a family-related Facebook page, and it is also exceedingly not political. It's very, very rarely used. As a matter of fact, if I log into it 6 times a year, it's unusual, but it is there. I use that sometimes to contact like my great aunt who resides down in Florida. She's like in her 90s, like almost 100. And usually that one is not even used for anything but just simply family contact or keeping up on things or just people I'm in contact with that, you know, I don't friend on the other accounts. You know, just for basically that partition of like family thing where I don't want it to intrude also in the dude jerky stuff. I just don't want to have that happening. I don't want to bang people over the head with that type of stuff. And it's just stuff that I just don't do. So anyway, way, shape, and form, all those get locked down. Now, the thing that sucks is if those things are not being pejorative, they're not being snarky, they're not being political, and they're not having bad interactions with anybody or doing the things that they said don't do, like posting a picture of the quote-unquote gay Klingon. Look it up on Google. Just Google gay Klingon, okay? It is a goofy picture. The guy looks like a total goofball as he's like posed out with his airsoft stuff. And truthfully, it is not anything that is just, you know, you're looking at this going, oh yeah, this guy, man, he's just sitting there hanging out the twig and berries, and, you know, everybody can basically see the gay Klingon for being the gay Klingon. It's basically at its best, it's just a goofball saying, yeah, man, I'm a Bobby badass. Look at all my airsoft stuff in my guitars. And I think a couple of the guitars were actually like controllers for like, you know, like Rock Band, where basically you have like the 5 buttons and like the little flippy thing and like the wowie bar. I think that actually is like part of the joke, is dude is like saying like, yeah, I'm a guitar player. Well, yeah, dude, how do you play that song? Is it red, blue, green, yellow, green, blue? You know, how do you play that song? You know, that's been like some of the like little, you know, snarky stuff they've done to him. But anyway, and I mean, there's been other stuff I've done. I mean, you know, I literally do really, really toe the line with Facebook sometimes. But I've gotten to the point now where I know what's going to hose me, what isn't going to hose me, and really what kind of slides. But man, I still sometimes like poking the bear. It's just too much fun. It really is. Oh, man. Speaking of poking the bear, there's a representative, and I forget where she's from. I think she's New Orleans. Yeah, she is. Actually, she is New Orleans. And she's now said that restaurant diners must wear masks at all times, even when eating. Does that mean you basically like coffee filter your soup, or how are you supposed to eat? You kind of like take your mask, hold it over, and kind of like take a bite and let your mask go. Take another bite, hold your mask over, take a bite. You know, it's the politicians are getting stupider as we go along. Truthfully, because I think what they're seeing here is their own absolute irrelevance, and man, it's getting to be emblematic of just rampant stupidity. Why these people get in office in the first place? It's beyond me. It really truly is. Let's see. Scrolly. Let me try to do this correctly here. I so hate the way that Twitter sometimes works. It's just really, really annoying. When you want to see your own stuff and reference your own stuff, you are like going kind of in circles. Let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with that stuff, but some of the protests have been absolutely hilarious. I cannot begin to do this justice. Like the one guy that basically tried to like hold off the guy pulling the horse trailer with like an F-350 or like a big Dodge pickup truck. The dude was just like, I'm not sitting here, and he was just rolled on the throttle and just rolled. And the crowd of people were just dumb. I mean, it's like huge horse trailer with a 400 horsepower plus diesel truck. You're not stopping it. Just get out of the way, man. That's just dumb. I don't know if this one is true or not, if this is urban legend. This one cracked me up, and this is classic goodness. It's posted up, and it was, of course, crossed out, but it was a Twitter post. So it says, so, some conservative Portland practical joker dressed up in Portland chic. Black helmet, black face mask with Red Anarchist logo, black jacket, black skinny jeans with black boots. Brought a backpack full of Keep America Great bumper stickers and waited for the rioters to arrive on the outskirts of the hot zones. Then he proceeded to stick Trump stickers all over the rioters, Bernie, and Antifa stickers, and left the rest up to the Charles Darwin Award winners. The rioters returned to their cars later, smashed with bats and clubs. That guy is a freaking genius. That is exactly how you handle that type of stuff. The other one I thought was absolutely hilarious was in Dallas. 250 protesters thought it would be great. They blocked the vehicle traffic on the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge. Now think about that for a second. They blocked the traffic in the bridge. The cops said, okay, fine. They blocked both ends of the bridge, and they started arresting every single person and loading up buses and getting them off. They cleared the protest by not letting the protesters off an enclosed area. Tactically challenged individuals. As long as they keep doing that type of stuff, it's a no-lose situation. Guys, keep doing what you're doing. You're just like on point. Just keep doing it. Let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there was a mental jitter I cannot do justice on. When Nancy Pelosi was on camera, she was talking and she was reading something, and it was like, and she was like reading. It was like, what are we talking about? Oh yeah. The lady is not there 100%. That whole kneeling thing, I don't know if you guys saw that, where they were wearing the kente cloths. Okay, case in point, if you're wearing a kente cloth, you're from the Ashanti tribe in Africa. You're not a politician going, yeah, I'm now showing off how much I really care about African Americans by wearing something insulting to Africans who are like, guys, if you want to know how this works and what this really means, you need to ask us. You got to remember, Africa's a really, really old culture, okay? They got stuff that predates us by a long time. There's a reason why they do certain things a certain way. It's because they've been around a lot longer than we have. Most Africans I've dealt with, man, they're exceedingly cool. So anyway, Pelosi does this kneel thing. And of course, everybody's kneeling there except for one guy. I forget his name. There's this ridiculous toad in Congress. But anyway, so they all they all kneel. And of course, everybody's like, oh, after your, whatever amount of kneeling, we'll all recover. And Pelosi's like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Like, two people have to come over there and literally lift her up because she's just, you can almost hear the bones going. You can almost hear the gears crunching as she's getting stood back up. And it's stuff like that that really, truly just cracks me up when politicians do these things because they just make themselves look stupid. And it's just them being them. There's no other way to do it other than just them being them. They're good at them. So that's what they do. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but this meme had me in tears, and I really truly need to share it over onto YouTube. I'm sorry, onto Facebook for people to see. But it's just this classic meme. Looters have it easy today. It was a lot harder to run with a color TV back in 1968, and they're showing like the monster console TVs that we all had as children. Like the big wooden cabinets with like the stereo on one end and like almost like the refrigerator on the other end and the TV in the middle. That picture just had me in tears. Now, in terms of like all the rioting and whatnot, I do actually have a retired cop neighbor, and I did message her, and I said, hey, if things are going crazy, do be sure to come to my place. I will definitely ensure that you have an upgrade, and made sure that, she knew that if things get bad, she needs to come up this way, and I can definitely, make sure she's got the right stuff. Now, in terms of the right stuff, well, what would be in proper parlance, shall we say? Well, probably you would wish to have something along the lines of maybe like something like this. Let me get the mag out just to be safe here. Okay, obviously PMAG 30 rounder, obviously loaded with 55 grainers, not loaded with the green tip stuff. I want the bullets to stop. I want it to stop short. I don't want it to keep on going. I don't want it to keep poking holes in things as it's rocking and rolling. I want it to stop. All right, so PMAG 30 rounder is already, out of the weapon. Now to clear the weapon. Weapon's now clear. You're not going to ask yourself, dude, what is the bottom? Well, the bottom is actually going to be a Cavalry Arms polymer lower. So this is all one piece of polymer. Literally, it's actually two pieces of polymer that's sonically welded down the middle. But in terms of the way it's built, it uses a carbine buffer, carbine spring. It has the butt length of an A1 style M16, not an A2. So it's actually 5/8 of an inch shorter. What is that, like about 2.5 centimeters almost? About two centimeters shorter than standard. So this is basically a 1 meter long weapon. I do have a Harris bipod on the front, just in case. Scope on board is not ridiculous, but it is a okay scope. 3x9 by 32 Tasco. With this setup, I can still sight underneath at the irons. So I have two means. Quick twist, this comes off. I can still use the irons if the scope goes bad. On board is a standard, nothing crazy, 20-inch. This doesn't even come in as a heavy barrel. I don't know. I know this one is stamped Colt 223, so this is actually one of the sporter uppers. It is set up in such a way that it actually balances really nicely. Not really heavy. It's probably every bit of about maybe probably about a 9-pound rifle. So not ridiculously heavy, not ridiculously light. Good balance, good weight. If you need to smack somebody, you can smack them because this buttstock's not going to break easy, okay? That's just how this thing's put together. And this is actually put together in such a way that I actually did put an A2 style butt plate with the trapdoor on board. So this is not like the classic problem you have with the cav arm lowers with the chintzy kind of. It just doesn't feel good. So you pop that thing out, put in the real stuff, everything bolts right up. The other things I've kind of done on this one has been very minimally tactically minded. There is an extended area on the charging handle, so you can one-hand it. You don't need to, go both ways, and you can actually one-hand it. Does everything you need to do. Good stuff like that there. Of course, you can lock it open. But the other dirty little secret most people don't realize is if you are in a situation where you have a weapon locked open, you stick a new mag in, you don't want to grab for the bolt release, that's your secondary bolt release. You smack the butt. It will release the bolt. Case in point, this one is a secondary helm defense weapon. Basically, I would say this thing is no more than about 250, 300 meters at best. Mostly because you're shooting a lighter bullet. That said, 55 grain bullet, close up and personal, is a particularly nasty little thing to get smacked by. You could ask anybody in World War Vietnam. Up to and present, there's still units that you still utilize the 55 grain bullet. Why? Because there's still National Guards guys that are running around with A1 or slower twist M16/AR-15 rifles. Now, the thing is, you can still shoot the 55 grain bullets through the faster rifling twist. The only thing is you're over-stabilizing the bullet, and what tends to happen is the bullet tends to go a little ways, and it either explodes, or it is so over-stabilized that it just doesn't work really good, and it just flies weird. Over-stabilizing a bullet sometimes is not the best thing to do. You always want to try to stick with the best rate of twist for your application. Now, if you're thinking along the lines of like a generic good go-between, you don't want to go with 1 in 7. You don't want to go with 1 in 12. You want to go with 1 in 9. 1 in 9 twist stabilizes. Let me get this thing set back to where I was. Okay. We now know we are unloaded but standing by. You wish to have yourself in such a way with the rifling twist is that you're not overstabilizing, you're not understabilizing. If you're understabilizing, obviously you've lost accuracy because the bullets are going to be keyholing, going to be flying all over the place, they're not going to be doing their job correct. And of course, anybody will tell you that to get hit by anything is much better to watch it go pew, because that does nothing but make the guy go, wow, somebody just shot in my general direction. I am not feeling slightly even ready to stop what I'm doing because I'm still doing what I'm doing and I'm not going to stop. Truthfully, I will tell you, carbines have their place, but if you want to talk about doing it to the best ability, giving up 4 inches of barrel does make a difference. So, especially if you're shooting a 55 grain bullet, you want to get as much velocity out of it as you possibly can. With that setup at a 55 grain bullet, you're pushing 31, if not almost 3,200 feet per second. That is a hasty little pill to swallow. It is not going to be good for you in the slightest. Most of the time, you're going to be engaging somebody. You're going to be engaging them within the first, 150 to 200 yards max. And I do mean usually it's going to be way closer than that. Especially when you're talking situations like this where we're talking about the riding and whatnot. You are not going to be engaging above, 300 meters because mostly it's just going to be a big blur in the distance, especially if you're not using a scope. Just give me 1 second. Truthfully, you always want to back it up and you want to have a pistol. Pistols are not primary weapons. A pistol is intended to get you to the rifle so you may continue to fight with a rifle. It is not the primary means to say, okay, I've used up everything I have with the rifle, now I'm going to go fight with a pistol. No. It's an adjunct at best. Situationally, it could be a situation where you fire a rifle out and the guy's still coming at you, or somebody's still coming at you, or another person's coming at you. You have your pistol, you engage them with your pistol. As soon as you possibly can, you reholster that pistol. You transition back to your rifle. You do not stick with the pistol. 2 very good reasons. Pistols don't hit nearly as hard as rifles. And mostly because the rifle is just that much more accurate than the pistol. Yeah, I know there's those guys out there, and they basically, Mikulik and those guys who can hit balloons at 2, 3, 500 meters, insane stuff like that. And not your average person, okay? Your average person can hold a minute of target, maybe, ideally, in a range. Under stress, it's going to be really, really, really freaking hard. And if you have a rifle bench rested in or you're rested up with a rifle, you're going to be that much more effective than you basically just all over the place with a pistol. It's not going to work to your favor. Let's see. Scrolly. Let's see. Anything else going on? I'm trying desperately to avoid getting into this, politics and all this crap going on. It's really just, it's just not fun to deal with, okay? It's really not fun to deal with. Let me scroll down here real quick. Some of the pictures I really have had a lot of fun with. I'd simply say just go through my timeline, because if I make mention of them here, well, potentially Facebook might have a little problem with that. As if they don't have a problem with me in the first place. But anyway, so case in point, there's been a lot of times to just simply find a picture, modify a picture, have fun with a picture. I really have had a lot of fun with this stuff. And there's been a lot of pictures that are just coming out of the ethers that I got to modify. I just find it fun. I did notice that there is, of all things, a lot of people doing what I would simply call apocalypse eating. Posted up a picture just the other day, and it was me in my local grocery store, and there was one can of Spam Light, read like reduced sodium, reduced fat, basically the nicer, kinder, gentler Spam. So 1 can of Spam left, Spam Light, and there was a bunch of cans of Treat. Now, anybody can tell you Treat is not the same thing as Spam. Truthfully, I think the closest approximation I could find to Spam in terms of my palate, I would say of all things, it is the brand from Aldi's. It's a steel can. I think it's actually from Norway or, one of the other almost like into the Arctic Circle kind of countries, and or I don't even know where it is, but Aldi's has those. They're a little bit cheaper than Spam. It's pretty close. It's actually pretty close. I would tend to think, in terms of the way that they actually make it, they actually probably use a little bit better meat. The flavoring is not quite the same, but it is pretty close. The biggest thing I can say, as a just comparing the two side by side, is it's got more jelly. So the jelly that they have in there tends to make it just a little bit better. So you fry it up and it's got more of that, unctuous mouthfeel, whatnot. It's got more fat. Obviously, it's got more collagen. That's the jelly. So way, shape, and form, I would say if you're desperate for Spam, you can't find Spam, and you need Spam, go to your local Aldi's, and they have something kind of close. Now, in terms of my personal taste, I like Spam. I mean, my absolute personal, absolute favorite Spam is going to be the hickory smoked. Not the bacon. The bacon is okay, but the hickory smoked Spam, that is the one. Spam hickory smoked is the shiznit. If you're looking for one that kind of does a very good fallback to maybe like a sausage / bacon, you wish to find the black pepper Spam. That one is just you fry that sucker up, and it's a very, very close second to the hickory smoked Spam. But would I eat normal everyday Spam? Absolutely. Why? Because, well, I'm just a Spam fiend. I don't eat the stuff every day, okay? Obviously being, now a heart patient, I got to be a little bit more nicer about that type of stuff. Obviously, you don't want to eat constant amounts of high sodium food. It's not the best thing for you. Obviously, you wish to modify your diet after you've had, health scares and whatnot. Truthfully, I didn't really feel that bad before I got worked on. But, in the healing process, I've kind of said, well, maybe I need to eat a little bit better. And so, of course, being not quite the spring chicken I used to be, I probably need to eat just a little bit better. So yeah, Spam, man, the hickory smoke, the black pepper, the jalapeno is pretty good too. Truthfully, I don't think I've really tried a single variety of Spam I don't like. I would say the bottom rung Spam. I'm not so much of a favorite of the teriyaki. It's okay, but if I was gonna do like a musubi, or misubi, if I was gonna do a misubi, I would actually make the musubi myself. The teriyaki Spam, it's kind of a little too sweet. It's kind of mushy. It doesn't really have the best consistency. It's okay. It's not my favorite. Let's see. Scrolly. Oh yeah, but one of my friends was like, "Where's the potted meat? That's the S word." It's like, dude, it's on the same area. Okay, trust me, they've got potted meat. You're not going to excuse yourself from Vienna sausage and potted meat in Baltimore area. Trust me, there is that stuff around. Same along the lines with like South Loaf and, man, they're just nuts about like anything pork product. This area is redonkulous about that type of stuff. Scrapple is like, manna to those people. They absolutely adore Scrapple around here. Now I have noticed in terms of the way the stores are looking, bacon has been a little bit scarce. So if you find some, grab a few. Don't grab them all. Don't be a dick. But grab a few, stash them in your freezer. Bacon freezes perfectly. Throw it in your freezer, okay? When you need it, just let it thaw and then cook it up. You're good to go. But anyway, like I said, apocalypse eating, I have noticed that Spam, and of all things, ramen noodles. Ramen noodles have been like selling like hotcakes. I don't know what everybody thinks it is in terms of like, comfort food or what have you, but ramen noodles and Spam has been like insane for sales level in this store in my casual observations. Now, in terms of the way these guys are cooking it up, I would think probably putting Spam into a ramen noodle, man. You're just you may as well just cut lines of salt and just start going, just like Scarface, just start snorting lines of salt, because that's the only way you're going to get less sodium in your diet on a daily basis is doing something like that, because wow. I mean, you look at like the little cups of ramen noodles, it's like 380 calories maybe, and it's like 1,200 milligrams of sodium, okay? That is absolutely insane. I mean, truthfully, like, you know, of course, eating potato chips and whatnot, I've been using the lightly salted variety of, hang on a second here, I can't see my picture. Here we go. The lightly salted variety of Pringles. So it is still salted, but it's lower sodium quantities. I mean, they're saying like 16 potato chips has 70 milligrams of sodium. Dude, I could eat this whole can. It's like, you know, they want me to have like less than 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day. If you're eating a lot of processed food, that is going to be really, really hard to accomplish. Truthfully, I can tell you, just looking at most canned goods, the sodium content is through the freaking roof. The best thing you can do, or like most canned vegetables and whatnot, is you dump the water that it came in, you rinse them off, then you heat them. Don't ever heat the vegetables in the juice that it came in the can, or you're just going to basically swell up like a slug, man. That is an insane amount of sodium. Anyway, so I'm waiting on Rich to get his poo-poo back together for the next show, and good stuff like that there. I mean, it's me basically just riffing on things this week. Like I said, I did not want to go political, mostly because it is just bonkers trying to not fixate on all of this junk. So anyway, we'll break off with this one, folks. Be sure to check us out on our other venues. Of course, we got aroundthecabin.com, aroundthecabin.com/campfire for the get-together room. So we have Around the Cabin, Around the Cabin News, Around the Cabin School of Self-Reliance, Around the Cabin Buy, Sell, and Trade, Around the Cabin Food, Around the Cabin Medicinal Cannabis, Around the Garden's Gate for growing stuff, good stuff like that there. You can find me also on YouTube, Azay's podcast channel. You can find me on Twitter as 80SPCC. And I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this Tuesday. I know you got many other places to go, but you guys hung out with me, and I appreciate your kind attendance. You get a gold star, and I'm going to break up with this one, and appreciate your kind indulgences. So I'll catch you guys next week, and have a good one, and, well, good stuff like that there. Hopefully Rich, you know, family member, rest in peace, all good stuff like that there, and, oh, Abrams, Taquino. I've never found a Taquino in this side of the United States, dude, but I've heard it's good. So I'm going to break up with this one. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you guys next week, and good stuff like that there, and thank you guys for your kind indulgences. Like I said, Ego keeps thundering as always, you know, you love it, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.